Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Namaskar. Welcome to another episode of Editorial. As usual, I have three topics. Three very serious topics. My topic number one is about Assam. Assam faced severe floods. But the irony is that people were guarding their NRC certificate, National Register of Citizenship certificate, more dearly than they are guarding their lives. Let's dwell on why they were doing it. My topic number two is about 49 celebrities, artists, writers, directors, wrote to the Prime Minister raising their concern over the lynching of Muslims and Dalits. Let's talk about that too. My last topic is about this High Court judge of Kerala. Now this judge feels that Brahmins are very special because they are born out of the good deeds that the person has done in his previous birth. This is what a High Court judge of India says. Let's talk about it in my last section. Let's get right into the show. First, let me talk to you about Assam floods. Assam is going through one of its worst floods ever. 69 lives lost. 28 lakh people affected in 19 districts. It's possibly one of the worst disasters that Assam has seen in the recent past. The second part I want to talk to you about NRC, National Registration of Citizenship. Now, National Registration of Citizenship is something that the Bharatiya Janata Party government wants to implement as soon as possible. Now, what is NRC? NRC is basically the certification that you are the citizen of India. NRC says that if you don't have documents which says that you are not a citizen, your ancestor or whoever is not a citizen of India by the midnight of 24th of March 1971, then you are not a citizen of India. You are a foreigner and you will be thrown out of this country. BJP says it is very necessary. It is very necessary because otherwise people from Bangladesh and other countries, they come and they settle in India and they eat into our resources. So it is very necessary. Now, why am I talking about NRC when I was talking about Assam floods? I am talking about NRC when I talk about Assam floods is because the sheer terror of NRC was bigger than the disaster of the floods on the people of Assam. They didn't guard their lives or their belongings first. They first guarded their citizenship document, their NRC documents. That was more important for them because they were scared that in the floods, if they lose their NRC document, they'll be thrown out of India. Especially if they belong to the Muslim or the Christian community. This is an HW exclusive. We went out, we spoke to people there. Just hear a few interviews there. Just hear a few people there and then I'll get back to you.
Relief paisa na?
Relief eba pallo.
Kune disile?
Etu sarkar pa aha kaam kora.
Aji ami korpa disu gom paisa noha?
Raha boli kase.
Raha Hujjoti eta hakha sahitya har eta hakha mane Hujjoti hakha sahitya sabhar pora ami rohar pora ahisu apnalokok kimito kiba eta dibo karone ahisu
hobode dise
apnaloke ei banpanit je ahisile keneke basile
ana honadi jene jene utise sokal song dhan khoba sob gol pani tolo
dhan নষ্ট
বান্দা সান্দা ভাঙি চিঙি সাফা কৰি দিছে
এনআরসি কাগজ পত্র কে
আছে সব আছে
নষ্ট হৈছে নেকি
নাই নাই
নাই হোৱা ন?
হৈছে এই সনাতনী ভাগৰ হৈছে
কি হ'ল এতিয়া কি কি কৰিলে তালে ঘৰত আপুনি সোমাব পৰা নাই মানে
এই জেনেৰেটৰ গোটেইসোপাকে চপাই দিছোঁ আৰু কালিতে
Around 32.9 million people had applied for NRC, out of which only 28.9 million people were granted NRC. 4 million people were told that they are no longer the citizen of our country, which means they are foreigners. So all of a sudden, one fine morning, they are told that they are foreigners. A lot of local bodies, a lot of NGOs from Assam cry foul saying that, listen, you know what, there has been an error. Because a lot of people may not be having the documents, but they're very much a part of the country, part of Assam, part of the place they were staying in. They may not have the documents. The government says that, listen, you know what, we can't have aliens in our soil. My 2 bits on this one. First is, when we are implementing a government policy, that government policy should never be seen as a strategy to eliminate or harm a particular community or a group of communities. It should never be seen like that. The second point that I want to make is, when you are implementing a policy, it should not be threatening the bulk of the citizens of that particular state, country or region. So this is what Assam is going through. We have floods on one hand and we have the NRC on the other. I genuinely hope that the government really takes all this into consideration before they act harshly on the state and the people. Almost 49 celebrated citizens of India, including artists. In fact, I'll tell you who are those 49 people, some of those 49 people. Directors like Adur Gopalakrishnan, Mani Ratnam, Anurag Kashyap, Biyang Sen, Soumita Chatterjee, Aparna Sen, Konkona Sen Sharma, Revati, Shyam Benegal, Shubha Mudgal, Rupam Islam, Anupam Roy, Pranambata Riddhi Sen, to name a few, were the people who wrote to the Prime Minister saying that, listen, you know what, we are concerned about the fact that the Dalits and the Muslims of this country are lynched. They're being tortured. They've been victimized. In fact, the letter says, and I read it out to you, I'll read out a part of the letter which is the important one. The letter says, the lynching of Muslims, Dalit and other minorities must be stopped immediately. We were shocked to learn from the NCRB, National Crime Record Bureau, which even I had done an editorial a few days back on this one. Shocked to learn from the NCRB reports that there have been no less than 840 instances of atrocities against Dalit in the year 2016, and a definite decline in the percentage of convictions. Further, 254 religious identity-based hate crimes were reported between 1st January 2009 and 29th October 2018, where at least 91% were killed and 579 were injured. The Citizens Religious Hate Crimes Watch recorded Muslims, 14% of Indian population, were victims of 62% of cases, and Christians, who constitute of 2% of Indian populations, in 14% of cases. About 90% of these attacks were reportedly between May 2014, when your government assumed power nationally. They are bringing out a very serious allegation, and based on a very authentic data and statistics. They are saying much of the hate crimes are happening towards minorities, especially the Muslims and the Christians. And 98% of these crimes happened after the 2014 Modi government. Now, I'm sure these people will be given a brand name, branded very soon, like you have the the Award Vapsi gang and the Tukde Tukde gang and the Khan Market gang and so on and so forth. These people will also be branded very soon. And I'd love to know what these people will be called. But the question is that the points they raised, can that be contradicted? Can anybody say that what they are saying is wrong? I hope, other than coming out with a very innovative brand name or innovative way to kind of humiliate these people, somebody stands up and answers what they are saying or give them a solution. The problems they raised are real. That's my story number 2. This is not strange in India anymore. So we have this High Court judge called Justice V. Chidambaresh. He's a High Court judge who says that, you see, Brahmins are people who are born because of their Purva Janama Sakrutam, which technically means they were born because of the results of good deeds they did in their previous birth. This is what he says. He was talking in some functions, some Tamil Brahmin function in Cochin.
Now, who is a Brahmin? A Brahmin is Dvijanmana, twice born, as said. Because of Purva Janma Sugridam, he is twice born. He has got certain distinct characteristics. Clean habits, lofty thinking, sterling character, mostly a vegetarian, a lover of Carnatic music. All good qualities rolled into one is a Brahmin.
The problem is, look at what he thinks of himself and his ilk, that is Brahman. Now, when this man sits in his chair and he is passing a judgment, if it is a Brahman versus a non-Brahman, who will he side? And, I just said that it is nothing new in India now. We had a former minister who was also a former police commissioner. I have met him when he was a police commissioner of Mumbai, a former police commissioner, Satyapal Singh. He also said, while others must have been born out of apes, I was born out of some rishi. He was born out of some rishi. And he said Darwin theory and all doesn't work. It's all hogwash. Minister. So I don't know what is happening to our country. I just spoke about motor mouths yesterday. And here again one more story. People sitting in important chairs making such stupid statement. And the worst thing is they are getting away with it. Nothing happens to them. That's the worst thing. Which technically means that is our society starting to actually think like that? Are we thinking like that current MP and former minister that, there is nothing called a Darwin theory and all, we are all born out of rishis? Are we starting actually thinking as a society like this? Or like this judge who says that Brahmins were born out of some earlier good karma and, they like Carnatic music and they eat veg and they are intelligent and all that. Are we actually believing this? If not, how can these people be leading our society? That's the question today. Till we meet next, Namaskar.